Good morning, everyone, and this is the first one of our community group videos, films, and today we are going to talk to Elaine Pearson, who is in charge of Gloucestershire Nightstop, which actually had one of our grants given by the Trust. So hello, Elaine.
Hi Julie, how are you?
I'm good, and actually Elaine and I are both old girls of Denmark Road High School, which is how we connected about a year ago probably, and had a coffee, which is great. Elaine, tell us exactly what the Gloucestershire Nightstop does.
Okay, so for more than 30 years, Gloucestershire Nightstop has been providing safe, secure accommodation for young people who are homeless. And by homeless, we mean they may be sleeping rough, or they may be sofa surfing, they may be sleeping in unsafe situations in return for somewhere to sleep. And what we do, we have a fantastic band of hosts across the county who offer a place in their home to young people in that situation. And they provide them with an evening meal, they provide them with a bed, somewhere to wash their clothes if they need to. And when they go off in the morning, they give them a packed lunch.
And are they spread right across the county?
Yes, we have hosts, well, until the pandemic, we had hosts in every district of the county. Yeah.
And so tell us what's happened since the pandemic.
Well, it's been really difficult. This time last year, we had about 35 hosts on our books. And this week we have 2 available. This week's availability has been affected by a couple of host families recovering from COVID, another one self-isolating, but our overall figures are massively down because a lot of our hosts were older and fell into the bracket where they couldn't host, and some just didn't feel they could. They all, almost all of them want to come back and sort of really banking on vaccinations and stuff like that to get them going. But yeah, at the moment we really need hosts who can host during the pandemic. In terms of public health and Nightstop UK, which has seen a reduction in hosts across the UK of about 2/3.
Wow.
And we've had to change things for our hosts. So the model before was hosts offered a night, and they may offer 2, 3, 4 nights in a row, but they only ever had to offer 1 night at a time. In order to keep people safe and to make the service as safe as we can during the pandemic, hosts now have to be able to offer 7 nights a week. Wow. So as a minimum. And also, what would usually happen is that during the day, the young person would be somewhere else. So they would go to college, they would go to work, they would come into our office to look at help and support around moving on, around finding employment, whatever. But now we need them to be able to stay in the host's home, whether that's remote education, because obviously they can't be out, we're not in the office, they can't be out on the streets. So there's a lot more pressure and expectations on the host as well, who themselves may be working from home, maybe homeschooling, maybe, so it's a pretty difficult situation at the moment.
It's a really big commitment for someone now.
Yes.
I mean, it was before, but this is an even bigger commitment. What sort of reasons would there be for these young people to not feel they can be at home?
Oh, the reasons are, so many. Sometimes we get, for instance, care leavers or asylum seekers who maybe don't have anywhere to go because of, the life they've had and the situation they find themselves in. But if you're talking about young people and you may have, those are the young people that may be sofa surfing, staying one friend one night, one friend another night, or they are open to exploitation. There are always people out there trying to, get what they need from young people. But young people, they fall out with their parents for whatever reasons. They may be being abused at home, and they're choosing to walk because they can't take it anymore. Some young people get thrown out by their parents for various reasons. So yeah, there's so many reasons. Young people could be living with a partner, and there could be domestic violence. You know, the reasons are, when you're dealing with an age group from 16 to 25, you know, yeah, they're immense.
Yeah. And so we did give you a grant. How did you hear of the Honourable company?
Well, Julie, I heard about them through you when we went for a coffee. So that was really good. I thought, yeah, that's another one for my list.
And we gave you £1,000.
You did.
And can you tell us what does it go into a big pot, or is it going to be used for something specific?
Yeah, like we said in the application, really, we want to keep it for something specific. So what we've seen over the last 10, 12 months is that young people, sometimes young people who we host, or young people who we don't host, have needs to keep themselves safe and off the streets. And so we've sort of put it as a welfare fund almost, where young people can access it, whether that's around food, whether that's around support to be able to continue their education. Like one young person, we bought a second-hand laptop so that he could continue his education. And for young people over the age of 18, you know, there's a possibility that because we have so few hosts, and if they were stuck in an emergency where the local authority couldn't house them that night, we would look at to see if there were any options in a B&B. Obviously, we can't do it for the younger ones, but you know, maybe they need a night or so as we can look at other options. So yeah, it's about keeping young people safe. It's a welfare fund. Yeah.
And do you have a big team in Gloucester at the offices?
No, we don't really have a big team. We have we have myself, who manages the service and aspects of the organisation, and then we have a volunteer coordinator, and advice and support coordinators. Those are our permanent posts. And we also have a youth support worker who works part-time on a contract.
And I remember when we met, you were actually trying to also sort of formulate a newish board. Are you still looking for trustees? Because people listening to this may have some time to be a trustee.
Yeah. We may be a little later in the year, but we've recently taken on a number of trustees, so we're sort of settling that in. So yeah, since we last sort of had a coffee, we've got 1, 2, 3 new members, which is really good. Yeah, absolutely. So we kind of felt like let's settle that in and see how that goes, and then maybe later in the year have a bit of an audit and see what else we need. So look out for us.
So really then, if you needed more help, it would be people volunteering to be hosts.
It really would. We hosts or volunteer drivers.
Oh, what do the volunteer drivers do? Tell us what
they do. Well, what they do is they help us get the young people where they need to be. You know, so they might pick up a young people with all their bags, drop their bags off at the office and take them to the host home. Or when young people get offered somewhere and they've got all their stuff to move, they help them with that. So yeah, it's about helping young people get where they need to be safely.
Yeah, okay. Well, obviously we don't know when this is all going to end. How many young people do you have on your books at the moment?
Well, as of today, we don't have anybody on Nightstop, but over the last sort of quarter, we've managed to do 56 bed nights, which is actually, you know, compared to what's happening across the country, is really, really good. And we're open. So as I say, it's more complicated in terms of both referrers and hosts in terms of what they can offer. So it's not because there isn't a need, there is a need. And we're just hoping that over the next few months, we'll be able to bring on more hosts, and that as lockdown restrictions ease, we can ease the pressure on our hosts.
Yeah, I mean, the first lockdown, actually, there was a really big effort to get everyone off the streets, wasn't there?
Yes.
And it's very successful.
Yes. Yes. Yeah, and it was a government policy called All In, and yes, we did that. I mean, we were working with young people. I can remember having a young person on the street one night with nowhere to go, and I knew exactly what to do. I phoned them, they arranged, booked a hotel for him, arranged to get him there. So yeah, it was really, really well organised. This time they do have the cold weather obligations on certain nights, but I've also had conversations with the rough sleeping lead for Gloucestershire, who has agreed that, you know, if we have individual young people that we need somewhere for, to contact them, and they will do what they can. But it's always good to have that backup welfare fund from yourselves in case we need it. But yeah, there isn't an official All In, but they would look at individuals.
Fantastic. Well, do apply again, because
yes.
What is your plan moving forward with Gloucestershire Nightstop?
Okay, well, we do have a plan of something that we're going to be doing, but I'm not allowed to share it yet because it's not been launched. But but it will be a new service, and it'll be a service that's quite COVID proof. So yeah, look out for that, because we'll need people to get involved with that as well. But you know, in terms of the organisation and the funders and stuff like that, we do need to do a proper launch, so I can't really.
Okay, we haven't got a spoiler alert going on.
Sorry.
So, please do contact us, and we will be happy to help in any way we can.
Yes.
We will put out on this the website address so that they can look it up.
Exactly.
And just let me know.
If they want to volunteer, if they want to donate, you can do that on our website. It's www.gloucestershirenightstop.org.uk.
Brilliant! It got it in. And Elaine was worried she wasn't going to be very good at this, and look, she's even got the website in. Fantastic. Elaine, thank you so much for talking to me today, and hopefully we can have another chat in a year's time or something.
Brilliant. Thank you so much for the donation and the opportunity to tell you about us. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye bye.